fellow loners. I hope that this video finds you and your family well and healthy however many days that you've been sheltering in place. For the past few weeks, I've been creating some of these tutorials as a way of sharing with you some of the things I love to do in order to pass the time. And I've loved the conversations that we've had on Instagram and you guys sharing your own stories about using tutorials, all of its fails and all of its successes. And also for those of you who have passed on your own recipes. I love getting new recipes. I love trying new things. And so I figure if we get through this season of sheltering in place and at minimum you come out a better chef or more confident in the kitchen, I think that that was time well spent. And so today I want to show you guys how to make one of my favorite things of all time, and that is a pork bao. It took me forever to figure it out, but I think I finally found a recipe that I really like and seems to work about 80% of the time. And so if you guys have ever been to an Asian restaurant and they have that fluffy flour bread that is really kind of sweet, and they kind of fold it in a taco, and inside is this crispy, sweet, salty pork belly, and it's covered usually in some kind of scallion or sesame seeds, and it's got this sweet taste. It's one of the most amazing things that you can eat on this planet, in my opinion. And so today I'm gonna try and show you guys how to do it. But I'm also gonna show you a couple tools that you can get around the kitchen that can really change the game as far as your cooking skill. And so today I'm gonna introduce you guys to sous vide. This is a jewel or a joulet. I like to call it a joulet because it just sounds fancy and you get to name it. And this one is Gordon, after Gordon Ramsay, kind of my cooking hero. And basically what sous vide is, if you guys have never done it, is it's cooking food at an exact temperature using water. And so if I want my steak at 126 degrees, you just set this with your app, you plug it in, and you follow the recipes, which on the Jewel app, it has like a bunch of different recipes and it takes all the guesswork out of it. It's a lot of fun. But this is the one that I like to use. I actually got this as a gift and I use it all the time. And so today, we're gonna be cooking these pork bellies, which I have frozen. I went to Costco and I bought a huge pack of these, pretty cheap piece of meat. And basically what's gonna happen is I'm gonna put this in the water and I'm gonna cook it at 155 degrees for about 36 hours. And so it's a long cook, you can be patient, but I'm telling you, it is worth the wait. And so let's show you guys how to do it. Okay, as you can see, this is what the joulet looks like, and inside you can see my pork belly. And it's starting to warm up right now. I actually didn't fill it up with enough water so you can see how the top is exposed right there. So I am going to need to add some water to make sure that it covers all of the meat. Okay, so now all of the meat is covered just like that, and I'm gonna shut the lid and let it cook for 36 hours. All right, well, it has been a couple days, and as you can tell, I at least have taken a shower and changed a little bit, even though I feel like my hair is super long right now and I could definitely use a haircut. We are ready to have some delicious pork buns for dinner. And so we have the pork bellies, which have been sitting in the refrigerator open like this so that it can get all the moisture out. And what I have here is that I am going to mix together kind of a seasoning that gives it kind of that sweet, savory flavor profile. And what I need to use for that is actually hoisin sauce. You guys will see this a lot in the Vietnamese restaurants. If you guys have ever had pho, this is one of the essential components to eating pho noodles, so delicious hoisin sauce. And I also have a couple tablespoons of sesame oil. This one is one that is seasoned, and it brings just a really nice flavor to it, but it also will help kind of crisp up the skin. I also have some ground ginger, which I have also placed inside this mixture that's already pre-done. So what I'm gonna do next is I'm gonna take some aluminum foil and I am going to make kind of like these little boats. I'm gonna put hoisin sauce on the bottom and around the sides of the pork belly, and then I'm gonna leave the top exposed as much as I can because that is actually going to be the part that is going to really crisp up. So let's do it. Okay, so you guys can see I've got this little pork boat here, and it's gonna go into an oven that is heated to 400 degrees, and we're gonna let it sit there and crisp up. What are we going to use for buns in the meantime? Well, if you go to H Mart, which is actually where we got this from, they sell these individual frozen steamed flour buns that you can get in the frozen food section, and they're kind of cool. They look like these little cute little balls of uncooked bao, I guess. And one of the things that we're gonna do is we are going to steam these in a pot, and it's really easy to do, and I'm gonna show you guys how to do that right now. So I've got my pot filled up part of the way in my pot, and it's really important to note that this part of the bottom of the cylinder needs to be completely dry, because if it's not, it means that you're going to be boiling your buns instead of steaming them, and you never want boiled buns. So I'm gonna cover this thing up and heat it up, and when this is ready to go, we are going to drop a couple of the steam buns in there. It's gonna steam for about 5 or 6 minutes, and we should be ready to have some baos for dinner. All right, it's been like 15 minutes, and we're gonna check on our pork bellies. Ooh, and look at that. Already starting to crisp up real nice, and I think I'm gonna just put it in for probably another 5 more minutes and kind of see what happens. Okay, so there you have it. Some mini pork belly bao buns. Okay, girls, you guys are eating pork belly baos. What do you think?
Really good. Really good.
They are delicious. Hopefully you guys get a chance to try it. If it works for you, let me know. And it's kind of a fun way to eat dinner.